The train for Ogium arrives at the platform, its presence announced over the intercom. As it slows to a stop, passengers are warned not to attempt boarding as the doors begin to close. The train continues on its journey, leaving the station behind. As the train departs, a passenger reassures a companion that they'll disembark at the next stop. Once the train halts, they step onto the platform. Spotting a seating area, one suggests to Jeong-guk that they sit nearby. Jeong-guk agrees, and they settle into the seating area. Reflecting on recent events, he recalls reuniting with his family after completing his deliveries. As they chat, a companion teases him about an incident involving a ball kicked into the woods, prompting laughter and light-hearted banter. Jeong-guk recalls a moment with his father, humor evident in his voice as he describes the old man's reaction. However, he admits to himself that he hasn't actually reunited with his family yet. It was merely a thought that crossed his mind during the subway ride. The memory of his family lingers, a comforting presence as he navigates his current journey. Jeong-guk watches as a child runs through the train, calling out for his mother. The boy's enthusiasm is met with gentle admonishment as his mother reminds him not to run in public. The child protests, pointing out the sparse crowd. Jeong-guk smiles at the interaction, the scene reminding him of simpler times. Jeong-guk listens to the child's protest, a faint smile lingering as the train speeds into a tunnel. The rhythmic clatter of the tracks fills the air, a constant reminder of the journey ahead. As the train emerges from the darkness, Jeong-guk's thoughts drift back to his own path, contemplating the distance yet to travel. Jeong-guk sits quietly, lost in thought. He fiddles with a small train keychain, a reminder of the journey he imagines but hasn't actually taken. The reality of his situation settles in, contrasting with the daydreams that filled his mind moments before. Jeong-guk realizes his journey on the subway was merely a daydream, imagined from the comfort of his home. As reality sets in, he finds himself in a dimly lit space, confronting a grim sight, a skeleton resting in the shadows. The stark contrast between his imagined journey and the unsettling scene before him sharpens his awareness of the present. Jeong-guk stands in the dimly lit space, the unsettling sight of the skeleton before him. He acknowledges the harsh truth. This isn't a home. The reality of his surroundings weighs heavily, contrasting sharply with the warmth of his daydreams. This place is merely a reminder of the emptiness he's trying to escape. Jeong-guk peers out of a broken window, taking in the desolate landscape. The building's facade is crumbling, a testament to the passage of time and neglect. Below, the city stretches out, a vast apocalyptic wasteland. Once bustling with life, it now lies in ruins, the skyline marred by destruction. The reality of his world is stark and unforgiving, a sharp contrast to the warmth of his daydreams. As he surveys the scene, the weight of his solitude presses down, reminding him of the journey he must undertake in this unforgiving environment. Jeong-guk reflects on a time long before he was born, a world described as safe and peaceful. His father's stories painted a picture of a vibrant city, filled with life and tranquility. Yet, the stark contrast with his current reality is undeniable. The memories of a bygone era linger, a reminder of what once was and what has been lost. As Jeong-guk reflects on the stories of a peaceful past, a sudden shift in the atmosphere occurs. The sky darkens ominously, and a sense of foreboding fills the air. People on the streets pause, looking up in confusion and fear. Without warning, massive black pillars begin to descend from the sky, piercing through the clouds with an eerie silence. The once calm day is shattered by the appearance of these ominous structures, marking the beginning of an unforeseen tragedy. Jeong-guk watches in disbelief, realizing that the world he knows is about to change forever. Pillars descend from the sky like a relentless storm, their presence both mysterious and terrifying. The city, once a symbol of human achievement, now faces an unprecedented threat. People scatter in panic, their fear palpable as the massive structures pierce the clouds. Jeong-guk stands frozen, witnessing the chaos unfold, aware that this marks the beginning of a new and uncertain era. Amidst the chaos, a blinding light erupts, casting eerie shadows as the black pillars continue their descent. The air crackles with tension, and the city is engulfed in a surreal glow. Jong-guk, caught in the moment, feels a surge of adrenaline. His eyes widen in shock, realizing the gravity of the situation. The world around him is transforming, and he stands at the brink of an unknown future, the weight of his solitude now mingled with a newfound urgency. The world had ended, leaving behind a fractured reality and a handful of survivors. Jong-guk recalls the old man's stories, tales that seemed implausible, especially this one. As a child, he struggled to believe them. Yet now, amidst the ruins, he finds himself questioning the truth behind those words. The weight of the past and the uncertainty of the present collide, leaving him pondering the mysteries of his world. Jong-guk examines a small subway keychain, a relic from a time when strangers could gather safely in enclosed spaces. The concept seems absurd now, almost a death wish in this dangerous world. He recalls his father's tales of peace, a stark contrast to the present chaos. As he steps forward, the weight of the past lingers, fueling his resolve to navigate this new reality. Jong-guk dismisses the notion of peace as a distant memory, scoffing at the idea as mere fantasy. The era of tranquility, once spoken of with reverence, is now nothing but a myth. He strides through the desolate streets, aware that anyone promising peace is merely a deceiver. The world has changed, and survival demands a hardened resolve. Jong-guk's thoughts drift to the allure of the subway, a relic of the past. Despite the dangers of the world, he dreams of experiencing the thrill of speeding through a deep underground tunnel. The idea of breaking through space itself captivates him, a fleeting escape from the harsh reality. As he moves through the desolate streets, the fantasy of riding a subway remains a small beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Jong-guk's senses heighten as he hears footsteps approaching. The sound is unmistakable, rhythmic, deliberate. Soldiers. He quickly assesses the situation, realizing there are two of them. His heart races, knowing that any encounter could be dangerous. The tension in the air thickens as he prepares for the unknown, aware that every decision now could mean the difference between life and death. Jong-guk listens intently as the soldiers discuss stragglers, questioning their presence. He knows he must avoid confrontation. Determined to stay unnoticed, he decides to slip past them quietly, prioritizing caution over conflict. The soldiers halt, scanning the area with precision. Jong-guk holds his breath, every muscle tense. One soldier mutters something, and Jong-guk realizes they've picked up his trail. Panic surges, but he remains still, calculating his next move. The soldier signals to his partner, confirming their suspicion. Jong-guk knows he must act swiftly to evade capture. Jong-guk realizes there's no avoiding the situation. With a resigned sigh, he acknowledges the inevitable confrontation. The soldiers, alerted by his presence, demand to know who's there. Tension mounts as Jong-guk prepares to face them, knowing that his next move is crucial for survival. The soldiers approach cautiously, one advising the other to take it easy. They inspect Jong-guk, surprised to find he's just a postman. Jong-guk, maintaining his composure, comments on the noise they were making. The tension eases slightly as the soldiers realize he's not a threat, but the encounter leaves Jong-guk wary of future confrontations. The soldier questions Jong-guk about his mission, hinting at disbelief. Jong-guk calmly explains he's delivering an air raid warning, having completed mail deliveries the day before. The soldier scrutinizes him, considering his story. Jong-guk remains composed, aware that his credibility is under evaluation. The soldier comments on the aftermath of a brutal fight, noting only 2 survivors. Acknowledging Jong-guk's task, he remarks on the difficulty of delivering air raid warnings. Jong-guk remains cautious, understanding their search for life signs might have deeper reasons. As the soldier apologizes for the interruption, Jong-guk, with a hint of humor, asks if they're hungry, easing the tension slightly. Jong-guk mentions he has some leftover food, catching the soldiers' attention. One of them, surprised, asks if he's serious. Jong-guk, maintaining his calm demeanor, inquires if they have anything worth trading. He considers the situation, ready to see if there's anything he might want in return, subtly shifting the dynamic in his favor. The soldier eagerly responds, offering bandages, hygiene supplies, a small battery, and even antibiotics. Jong-guk considers the offer, realizing the value of such items in these dire times. The soldier, sensing an opportunity, asks what Jong-guk desires in return. Jong-guk weighs his options, knowing this exchange could be crucial for his survival. Jong-guk, sensing the importance of the moment, requests ammunition in exchange for the food. The soldier, taken aback, questions his request. Jong-guk stands firm, understanding the gravity of what he's asking for. The air between them thickens with uncertainty as both parties weigh the implications of the trade. Jong-guk insists on the ammo, his expression unwavering. The soldier, puzzled, points out their ammo is 5.56 millimeters. Jong-guk clarifies he's not seeking it for personal use, leaving the soldiers momentarily confused. The tension shifts as they try to understand his true intentions. Jong-guk explains that as a postman, he can't afford to carry heavy loads, making ammo the ideal choice due to its small size and high value. The soldier suggests antibiotics or a battery instead, but Jong-guk firmly insists on taking only ammo. His unwavering stance leaves the soldiers contemplating the unusual request, realizing the strategic importance behind his choice. The soldier hesitates, explaining the need to conserve their ammunition. Jong-guk, unfazed, counters with a confident offer. 1 round for all the food he has. This unexpected proposition intrigues the soldier, who begins to reconsider. Jong-guk's calm persistence shifts the balance, as both sides weigh the benefits of the trade. The soldier, incredulous, questions Jong-guk's willingness to trade all his food for a single bullet. Jong-guk remains resolute, insisting on just 1 round, neither more nor less. The soldier, desperate to sweeten the deal, offers additional items like a lighter alongside the antibiotics. Jong-guk's unwavering stance leaves the soldier contemplating the unusual trade, realizing the depth of Jong-guk's determination. Jong-guk, maintaining his calm, questions if parting with a single bullet is truly difficult. The soldier hesitates, contemplating the offer. Jong-guk's unwavering confidence leaves the soldiers in silent consideration, their curiosity piqued by his unusual request. The tension in the air shifts as they weigh the potential benefits of the trade, realizing the strategic value of Jong-guk's proposal. Jong-guk's expression shifts, a hint of a smile playing on his lips as he suggests an alternative. He questions the soldiers, implying they might not have any live rounds in their guns. This revelation catches them off guard, their silence betraying the truth. The atmosphere becomes charged with a new tension, as Jong-guk's insight challenges their authority and shifts the power dynamic in his favor. The soldier's frustration boils over, threatening to prove his weapon's readiness. Jong-guk, unfazed, raises his hands in a gesture of peace, reminding them of their shared allegiance. His calm demeanor contrasts sharply with the soldier's agitation, prompting a demand for silence. The tension remains high, yet Jong-guk's composed approach continues to challenge the soldier's authority, subtly shifting the power dynamics in his favor. The soldier, frustrated, asserts they won't make it back, dismissing Jong-guk as just a postman. Jong-guk, unfazed, responds with a calm retort, pointing out the harshness of the accusation. He shifts focus to the soldier's admission of not returning, subtly probing for more information. Jong-guk's sharp observation cuts through the tension, accusing the soldiers of being deserters. His words sting, revealing their true nature as bandits. The soldiers, caught off guard, are forced to confront the harsh reality of their actions. Jong-guk's unwavering confidence and piercing insight leave them speechless, shifting the power dynamic entirely in his favor. The soldiers' anger flares, accusing Jong-guk of insolence. Jong-guk, unfazed, calmly points out that their aggressive behavior only confirms his suspicions. His composed demeanor continues to undermine their authority, reinforcing his upper hand in the tense standoff. Jong-guk's accusation hits home, confirming the soldiers' lack of ammunition. His calm assertion rattles them, and one soldier, in a fit of anger, lunges forward. Jong-guk swiftly counters, using the soldier's momentum against him. The soldier gasps, caught off guard by Jong-guk's unexpected agility. Another soldier attempts to attack from behind, knife in hand, but Jong-guk remains a step ahead, dodging deftly. The tension escalates as Jong-guk's quick reflexes and strategic insight continue to dismantle their authority, leaving the soldiers increasingly desperate. Jong-guk deftly evades the soldier's attack, his movements precise and calculated. As the soldier's knife slices through the air, Jong-guk counters with a swift maneuver, using the soldier's own force against him. Calmly, he points out the soldier's failed attempt, his voice steady and composed. The soldier, caught off balance, realizes his mistake too late, his aggression only serving to highlight Jong-guk's superior skill and insight. The soldier's surprise is evident, his confidence shaken by Jong-guk's agility. Jong-guk, unfazed, critiques their predictable moves, his calm analysis further unsettling them. His insight and skill continue to dismantle their facade, leaving the soldiers increasingly desperate and off balance. Jong-guk's agility leaves the soldier coughing and off balance. He lands gracefully, maintaining his composure. The soldier, bewildered by Jong-guk's unexpected prowess, questions how a mere postman could outmaneuver them so effortlessly. Jong-guk's calm presence continues to unsettle the soldiers, further eroding their confidence and authority. Jong-guk, unfazed by their taunts, calmly addresses their fixation on his role as a postman. His words cut through their bravado, revealing their underestimation. As a soldier charges with a knife, Jong-guk skillfully deflects the attack, sparks flying from the clash. His agility and precision continue to dismantle their confidence, leaving them increasingly unsettled and on edge. The soldiers, startled by Jong-guk's words, realize their prejudice has been exposed. Jong-guk, unfazed, calls out their discrimination, his voice calm yet firm. His confidence remains unshaken as he prepares to strike back, his movements fluid and precise. The soldiers, now aware of their underestimation, are left speechless as Jong-guk's determination and insight continue to dismantle their facade. Jong-guk stands firm, his presence commanding as one soldier struggles to regain composure, clearly winded. The soldier's eyes widen, fixating on the mysterious device on Jong-guk's arm. Confusion and disbelief ripple through him as he questions how a mere postman could possess such power. Jong-guk's silent confidence only deepens their bewilderment, leaving them grappling with the reality of their underestimation. The soldiers' eyes lock onto the device on Jong-guk's arm, disbelief evident as they question how he obtained an officer's shield. Jong-guk, unfazed, points out the scratch from their earlier attack, highlighting their carelessness. His calm demeanor only deepens their confusion, further unraveling their confidence. Jong-guk stands over the fallen soldier, his presence commanding. The soldier, still reeling from the encounter, demands compensation for his defeat. Jong-guk, unfazed, points out the gravity of possessing an officer's shield, hinting at the severe consequences. The soldier, taken aback, questions Jong-guk's audacity. Calmly, Jong-guk inquires if they have any other tactics, his confidence unshaken. As he leans in, he hints at further examples of his capabilities, leaving the soldier in stunned silence. Jong-guk reveals a gun, its presence shocking the soldiers. They recognize it as a hunter's pistol, their disbelief palpable. The revelation of such a weapon in Jong-guk's possession further shatters their assumptions, leaving them speechless and wary of his true capabilities. Jong-guk's calm demeanor continues to unsettle the soldiers as they demand to know his true identity. With a hint of amusement, he responds, questioning if they can't already tell. His nonchalant claim of being just an average, everyday postman only deepens their confusion, leaving them grappling with the reality of their misjudgment. The soldiers, still reeling from the revelation of his capabilities, are left speechless, unable to reconcile his ordinary facade with his extraordinary skills. The protagonist anticipates a reprimand upon returning to HQ, contemplating a quick fix for his torn jacket. Reflecting on the damage to his shield, he regrets not extracting more compensation from his adversaries. Nonetheless, he reassures himself that he has enough to cover the repair costs. With a determined nod, he suggests moving forward, aware of the urgency. The looming threat of an air raid in 3 hours hangs over him as he strides through the desolate streets, the weight of his mission pressing heavily on his mind. As he approaches the barricade, a stern voice commands him to halt. 2 guards, one visibly tense, stand watch from above. The urgency in their tone suggests heightened security measures. He pauses, considering his next move, aware that time is slipping away. The guards, puzzled by his presence, question if he's a mailman, expressing surprise at the unexpected delivery. He calmly produces a document, its official insignia catching the light. This seems to reassure them, as they exchange uncertain glances. With the document in hand, he hopes this will grant him passage, aware that every second counts. The guards exchange a look of disbelief, one exclaiming in surprise. The tension eases slightly as another figure approaches, reassuring them. He explains it's just an air raid warning, emphasizing the time remaining before it hits. With a sense of urgency, the protagonist acknowledges the countdown, knowing the importance of every minute. The guards, confused by the protagonist's role, question why a postman is delivering an air raid warning. One of them notes it's unusual, hinting at the gravity of the situation. The mention of a massive pillar about to drop heightens the tension. The protagonist, sensing the urgency, cuts off their chatter, emphasizing the need to act swiftly. The protagonist declares his intention to trigger the alarm, reaching into his bag with determination. The guards react with urgency, one shouting to fetch the captain immediately. The tension escalates as they scramble to comply, aware of the critical nature of the situation. The guard, recognizing the urgency, gestures for him to enter quickly. The protagonist steps inside, the weight of the mission intensifying as the alarm blares ominously. Every second feels critical, the looming threat of the air raid driving him forward with increased determination. Inside, he quickly assesses his surroundings, noting the sturdy steel roof above. It's a testament to the resilience of those who have maintained this place under such dire circumstances. He acknowledges their perseverance, impressed by their ability to endure. The urgency of his mission remains at the forefront of his mind, propelling him forward as he navigates through the fortified structure. The alarm blares, causing a ripple of uncertainty among those present. Questions arise about the necessity of evacuation and the protagonist's true identity. Amidst the confusion, a young woman stands firm, acknowledging the inevitability of this moment. Resolute, she declares her intention to stay, her determination unwavering despite the looming threat. The protagonist, focused and determined, moves through the fortified structure. A guard escorts him, announcing his arrival to the captain. The atmosphere is tense, with the weight of the impending threat hanging heavily over them. The captain acknowledges their presence, ready to address the urgent situation at hand. The captain, a figure of authority, stands with arms crossed, assessing the situation. The protagonist wonders if this man leads the settlement, aware of the importance of understanding local dynamics. The captain advises him on the essentials of visiting new settlements, emphasizing the need to respect their unique laws. In a world where transportation and communication are fractured, these rules are crucial. The protagonist reflects on this, recognizing the vital role he plays in bridging isolated communities. In these isolated settlements, survival has led to the creation of unique beliefs and rules. The protagonist, aware of the delicate balance, listens as the captain advises him to remain silent until addressed. This custom underscores the importance of respecting the established order, crucial for maintaining peace in these fractured communities. A voice calls out to the protagonist, acknowledging him as postman, and breaking the tension momentarily. A figure approaches, commenting on the rough journey and offering a drink as a gesture of camaraderie. The protagonist, still focused on his mission, considers the offer, aware of the importance of building alliances in these isolated communities. The unexpected warmth provides a brief respite from the urgency of the situation. The captain expresses a desire to avoid causing panic among the residents, questioning the likelihood of a black pillar falling. The protagonist confirms the data from HQ, indicating an estimated arrival in 2 hours. Despite the numbers being meaningless to the captain, he trusts the protagonist's understanding of their significance. The captain relies on his expertise, acknowledging the gravity of the situation and the need for swift action. The captain, seeking reassurance, asks about the settlement's chances of survival. The protagonist, maintaining his humility, deflects the question, reminding them he's just a postman. Pressed further, he insists he doesn't know, emphasizing the unpredictability of the situation. Despite his experience with air raids, he remains uncertain, highlighting the chaotic nature of their world. The tension escalates as a heated exchange unfolds. A voice, frustrated and dismissive, demands the protagonist leave if he has nothing more to contribute. Another voice intervenes, calming the situation with a gentle reminder to stay composed. The protagonist, mindful of the settlement's rules, recalls the crucial second rule: do not interfere. This reminder underscores the delicate balance he must maintain to navigate the complexities of each community he visits. The protagonist, acknowledging the tension, calmly states that leaving isn't an option as his work remains unfinished. A curious onlooker inquires if his mission involves government business. He responds vaguely, hinting at the complexity of his task. Meanwhile, another person notices an unfamiliar object, questioning its purpose. The protagonist remains focused, aware of the importance of his role in this precarious situation. The protagonist explains that the device measures the impact force of the falling black pillars, crucial for assessing potential damage. He mentions the importance of comparing this data with predictions from HQ to ensure accuracy. A nearby resident expresses concern about the settlement's roof, designed for air raids, potentially affecting the readings. The protagonist acknowledges this, understanding the need to adapt to each community's unique circumstances while maintaining his focus on the mission at hand. The protagonist explains that, according to experts, the black pillars don't merely fall from the sky. They behave like living organisms, slowing as they pass through the atmosphere and land with precision on their targets. He reassures the concerned resident that the roof won't affect the outcome, emphasizing the pillar's accuracy. This revelation adds a layer of complexity to the already tense situation, underscoring the urgency of their preparations. The protagonist, maintaining his calm demeanor, offers his only advice: to prepare for the inevitable. With a reminder of the ticking clock, he informs them they have just 1 hour and 50 minutes left. The urgency in his voice prompts the captain to make a crucial decision. The weight of the situation hangs heavy as they contemplate their next move. Aware that time is swiftly running out, the protagonist observes the familiar scene unfolding. As an outsider, his presence stirs the settlement, prompting residents to emerge, eager to barter. They call out to him, offering goods in exchange for vital information or supplies. The urgency in their voices reflects the community's reliance on his visits, underscoring the precarious balance they maintain in these challenging times. The protagonist, aware of the community's needs, states that the only thing he requires is ammunition. His request echoes through the crowd, highlighting the scarcity of resources. As people gather around, their murmurs fill the air, reflecting a mix of curiosity and desperation. The protagonist stands firm, knowing that securing this trade is vital for his mission's success. A voice interrupts, addressing him as Mr. Postman. Turning, he sees a resident offering a trade. Although they lack ammunition, they present a grenade, asking if it suffices. The protagonist considers the unexpected offer, weighing its potential value for his mission. The protagonist, addressed as Mr. Postman, considers the offer of a grenade. Skeptical about its functionality, he questions the trade's worth. However, he confidently asserts that the grenade is more valuable than antibiotics, viewing the exchange for bandages as advantageous. Trusting his instincts, He examines the grenade closely, assuring the resident that it is indeed operational. His certainty reassures those around him, reinforcing his reputation for reliability and resourcefulness in these dire times. The resident questions why the protagonist hasn't left yet, expressing a mix of hope and resignation about the roof's potential to hold back the impending threat. Despite the looming danger, he decides to stay, driven by a sense of determination. He then mentions he has a favor to ask, piquing the protagonist's curiosity. Jiang-hui approaches with a cheerful greeting, reminding him of their earlier encounter. She inquires about his plans, hinting at his return to headquarters. Her curiosity is cut short as he gently interrupts, maintaining focus on the pressing matters at hand. The exchange underscores the urgency and the unspoken bond forming between them as time continues to slip away. The protagonist, puzzled by the unexpected request, questions its significance. A resident explains that someone has urgent mail needing delivery and insists on accompanying him. The suggestion of a personal delivery to headquarters, deemed more economical, adds a layer of practicality to the plea. Balancing urgency with practicality, the protagonist weighs the implications of this new development. The protagonist questions the logic of traveling so far for something easily delivered. A resident insists on accompanying him, determined to be as persistent as a shadow. Unfazed, he dismisses the idea, stating only his shadow can follow him. The resident, undeterred, vows to be just as unshakable, challenging the protagonist's resolve. The resident, exasperated, questions the protagonist's decision to waste battery life on trivial matters. The protagonist, unfazed, firmly rejects the idea of being followed, emphasizing his independence. Despite the resident's insistence, he remains resolute, dismissing the notion of companionship with a decisive refusal. The resident, eager to make amends, offers a magazine of ammunition. Surprised, the protagonist's eyes widen at the unexpected gift. Jiang-hui, standing nearby, is scolded by a man for her impulsive generosity. She protests, confused by the reprimand, while the man struggles to articulate his frustration. The protagonist, caught between their exchange, contemplates the newfound resource, recognizing its potential to aid his mission. Jiang-hui questions the protagonist's trustworthiness, hinting at the responsibility of a postman. He notes the settlement's limited resources, surprised they would entrust a child with valuable ammunition. Examining the magazine, he realizes its high-grade military surplus and nearly full, a significant asset in their precarious situation. This revelation underscores the gravity of their circumstances and the trust placed in him. The protagonist, still processing the unexpected gift, remains silent, contemplating the implications. Meanwhile, the man gently ruffles Jiang-hui's hair, acknowledging her bravery and involvement. This gesture underscores the trust and camaraderie developing within the group, highlighting the importance of unity in their challenging circumstances. The protagonist considers the offer, suggesting he could deliver the message himself for such a valuable exchange. However, the man insists on taking Jiang-hui to headquarters instead. When asked about his own plans, the man simply states that this place is his home, underscoring his commitment to the settlement. This decision highlights the deep-rooted connections and responsibilities each character feels towards their community. The man emphasizes the need to protect their settlement, acknowledging the risks involved. He refuses to let Jiang-hui be part of such a gamble, prioritizing her safety. Meanwhile, the protagonist reflects on the concept of home, pondering the significance of a roof over one's head. This introspection highlights the contrast between his solitary journey and the community's shared responsibility. The protagonist, contemplating the notion of home, acknowledges that physical structures can be rebuilt anytime. Determined, he instructs Jiang-hui to follow him, signaling a shift in their dynamic. Jiang-hui, eager to comply, responds with a respectful affirmation, ready to embark on the journey ahead. This moment marks a turning point, as both characters prepare to face the challenges together, united by a common purpose. As they navigate the desolate landscape, the protagonist urges Jiang-hui to keep pace, aware of an impending raid. She questions the effectiveness of the roof against the looming threat, but he bluntly admits it won't suffice. Surprised by his honesty, she asks why he withheld this from the others. His silence suggests a deeper strategy, hinting at unspoken plans to protect the settlement. Together, they press on, united by the urgency of their mission. The protagonist pauses, revealing 2 reasons for his silence. First, he acknowledges that those unwilling to leave the settlement won't budge, regardless of his warnings. Jiang-hui listens intently, her curiosity piqued as she waits for the second reason. Thunder rumbles ominously above, casting a foreboding atmosphere over their journey. The protagonist, gazing at the turbulent sky, reveals his second reason for silence: the belief in a 1-in-a-million chance. This glimmer of hope, despite the odds, fuels their determination to continue. Jiang-hui nods, understanding the weight of his words. Together, they press on, driven by the slim possibility of success amidst the chaos. The protagonist acknowledges the slim chance of survival, drawing from his own experiences. With only 30 minutes until the air raid, urgency heightens their resolve. Time is slipping away, and every second counts as they brace for the impending challenge.